Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. Yeah, no, I just get some serious copyright strike. I am sorry, YouTube and Facebook, yeah. And a special good night to each and every one of you. Hope that you all are having a fabulous, fabulous night tonight. Again, my name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It is time for Talking Points, yeah.
This is not politics. Please don't forget. I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet.
Saying a special good night to all of you joining us via Real FM 91.9, 91.5. Good night to you, Andre Donald.
Your expectation, neither are you in to live up to mine.
All of you on the Facebook, all of you on the YouTube. We're gonna do roll call in a short while. We've got a lot to speak about tonight, man. Hey, Joyce down there in Trinidad, how you doing, my dear?
I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am.
Facebook, please abide with me. Don't pull the program.
I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am.
Just making sure you all are hearing clearly. Everything is going okay thus far.
There is a time for everything.
As I said, we've got a lot to speak about tonight, yeah?
There is a season.
And we do apologize for not being on Thursday. But we did say that we would not be in studio. We'd allow the Zonal to take place. But due to the electricity outage on the western side of the island, the Zonal didn't take place.
Make sure everything.
And we hadn't organized to get into studio. So that one cannot take us late, yeah?
We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain.
Might have to set up so I could do the program from home too, you know.
You say Liberation Day, and I ask, this show.
Yes, indeed. Where is this? Where that coming from? Behave yourself. You're coming on just now. Why are you rushing so?
Rightful thinking.
You're Russian?
Voted for the bling, but you trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. Yellow, yellow, all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4.
So let me just congratulate all of you and say thanks on behalf of the Carriacou and Petit Martinique branch to all of you that came out to their activity on Saturday.
You lose the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. Old school parable say.
Also, all of you who came out to the Oil Down and Old Talk out there in New York.
Diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But
let me also remind you all that we have an activity that's taking place this weekend. Well, two activities. Let me see. Where's the first one? Why this one? Why is it not playing? Come on. Yeah. Something is up here. Yeah. Something is up here tonight. Yeah. Yeah, you want to play. Yeah. But the massive bingo that's going to be taking place at the Victoria Park out there in Grenville, that's taking place this Sunday. Yeah. Over $100,000 in cash and prizes, inclusive of is a Suzuki Ignis, a Toyota Ignis, what Ignis is? What kind of Ignis it is? Yeah, it's a Suzuki Ignis. You know me, you know, kind of thing, right? A Suzuki Ignis motor car. Yeah, that will be up for grabs this Sunday. Remember, buses are available island-wide. So you can call 440-1875 and they will tell you who is the person dealing with your area so you can get on the bus. Maybe you and the family, you and your friends, you and your group want to come on down to the bingo. You want to participate in the bingo and so on. So contact 440-1875 or 440-1876. They will give you the information in relation to the buses for your particular area, right? That's for those of you that, you know, you ain't walking down or you have other transportation to come down there. So contact the main office of the New National Party. They'll give you information in relation to the 40th anniversary massive bingo taking place at the Victoria Park up there in Grenville, starting from about 5 p.m. this coming Sunday.
When you trick us with campaign promises, waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing,
All right, I think I've got it now, so let me play that one for you all, yeah.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Get ready as the new National Party invites all to its 40th anniversary fundraising bingo event, Sunday, October 27th
Oh, boy.
from 5 p.m. at Victoria Park.
Yeah, I'm still not getting it in the way that I need to get it to play. I don't understand what's going on with me here tonight. Yeah, but I'll get it working shortly. Let me just do one thing here. Nice, and let me bring this up here, and I'll get it playing, yeah.
you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. So we've heard about your internal division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party? And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they're cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next ballot. But you guys will have to come real good, cause it's a long time Grenada ain't eat a food. You think politician good? Trick us with campaign promises. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. You remember in the Bible God had a plan for Jonah to restore Nineveh? But who will restore Grenada? Is it the same Jonah? Lots of doubt, so I'm running up my mouth. And I'm counting no chicken before the hatch. Politicians sometimes form a crooked bunch. After they get the vote, they now sing one note. But here comes Fort Judy and Nancy Payne with million.
Right, so I think I've got it now, because we had to play with clips and thing tonight when we get a chance, you understand?
Are you ready? Let's go!
Get ready as the new National Party invites all to its 40th anniversary fundraising bingo event, Sunday, October 27th from 5 p.m. at Victoria Park, Grenville. Over $100,000 in cash and prizes to be won. Imagine you can win a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car, $50,000 in cash, plus other fantastic prizes. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. Free buses will be available island-wide. Don't miss it, or you might just see your neighbor driving a Suzuki Ignis. Sunday, October 27th, we're heading to Victoria Park in Grenville for the new National Party 40th anniversary fundraising bingo.
Yes, indeed, folks. So, yeah, we get our one to play. Nice, wonderful, nice. So, we know the thing working now. Right, great. Yes, indeed. And, I find, we had to play the thing too, we had to let you all know,
40 years we going strong and getting stronger. It's a celebration.
Folks, also to remind you,
We love it.
the NNP New York Town Hall meeting taking place this Sunday.
Anniversary.
The location has changed. So let me say to those of you out there in New York, the location has changed. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the location has changed.
Visionary leadership. Now tearing hope for a brighter future.
So the location is now the Nazareth Regional High School. That's 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203.
Looking real bright. And we move.
That's between Clarendon Road and Ditmas Avenue.
It's a celebration. We love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party and we know.
So again, the new National Party Town Hall meeting
Anniversary and
scheduled for this Sunday. The location has changed, right? Yeah.
40 years and going strong. Providing a solid foundation for the nation's future. 40 years of greatness, development and progress. Yeah, it's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party, and we know it. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
So again, the team that's going to be there on Sunday. Yeah, you have the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters. You have the Honorable Emlyn Pearce, Senator Norland Cox, Senator Dwight Hosford, Honorable Peter David, and political leader of the New National Party, Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. So that's taking place this Sunday out there at the Nazareth Regional High School. All right, that's for the NNP Town Hall in New York. It's taking place at the Nazareth Regional High School. That's 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203. Let me go over that again. 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203, and that's between Clarendon Road and Ditmas Avenue. All right, so that's going to be taking place this Sunday, starting from 5 p.m. out there in Brooklyn. Yeah, nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of you there. Well, you know, I might be there virtually, or I might be there physically. You never know, you know. Next thing I have to redo the poster and put my face to. You know, next thing I'm coming up and talk to. Good night to you, Camille Teresa Scott.
Yes, I'm going strong.
I ain't too sure where you did it, you know. Yeah, when I call, I didn't get you, so.
For the nation future, 40 years of grace.
I see I missed the call. I call back, but I ain't getting you.
Development and progress, yeah. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. There's no segregation.
So, folks, first one, let me let you all know right now. The addendum to the voters list is out. Yeah? It was gazetted on the weekend. It is out now. So all of you have a responsibility now to go through that voters list for your constituency and see who the people that are registered, who they are. And you all need to identify these people. You all need to know if these are people that have been living in the constituency for 12 months before when they registered. You all need to know if these are people that are living at all within the constituency. You all need to make sure that these are people who should be registered in your constituency, because I'm sure one thing that you don't want a situation where people who do not belong to your constituency, who legally should not be voting in your constituency, you will not like a situation where these people come in and make a decision on your behalf that you and your children and the rest of your family have to live with. You don't want that situation. So in order to avoid that, the addendum to the voters list is out, and you need to make sure that you take the opportunity and go through the addendum, go through the list. The voters list is out. So take the opportunity, go through the addendum. So in other words, the addendum is basically showing now all of the people who have recently registered. So all of the people who registered between June, the end of June, and September are on that list now. The end of September. So that's for the period from June to the end of September. And I don't know what's happening with my video tonight. Everything working kind of funny, googly tonight. I'll have to get the tech to come in and check them things tomorrow. Yeah. So the voters list is out. You need to check it. Look for those funny looking names. But not just the funny looking names, because we're looking for the funny looking names, and it might be passing other names that look as though that is okay. John Joseph, okay, yeah, man, that we ain't bothering with tea. That probably somebody down the road. No. You need to identify who they are as well. So it's not a matter you're just looking for the names like some Yugoslavian name or some Russian name. Yeah, you're not just looking for those names. You're looking for all of them. If you see one of those names, then you may pay a little more attention to try and find out exactly who that person is, should they be registered here. But all of the names, you have to put a face to every single name that you see on that list. So all of those people, all of those people who are on the list, who have been there from since what has taken place in July, August, September. That's the people who are on that list now. The next list will be coming out at the end of December. That's for October, November, December. One thing you would realize with this list, and there's a reason for that, is that there's no Carriacou and Petit Martinique on this list. I've looked at the list. There's no Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Obviously, they couldn't be registering people in Carriacou. Oh, so that's where Camille is. Okay. Yes, I missed a call from her, and I called her back. I passed on Saturday. I realized the place was closed. Somebody gave me some information and said certain things. So I realized the place was closed. I missed a call from her yesterday. Returned the call. Didn't get a response. So I said probably she's resting or some sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to make sure and not just call, but I'll make a pass. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so make sure that you all check the addendum. Make sure you check that list. Check the others as well. Check the one for the last period if you haven't checked it as well. For your constituency. Find out. Put a face to every name that you see there. And make sure that that name is supposed to be there and that person is supposed to be registered as an elector in your constituency. We all have a responsibility. We can't leave it up to the NNP main office and think the main office doing all of that. We can't leave it up to other people and think, well, other people handling that. We all have a responsibility to make sure that we do what we have to do. Izzy. Yes, I know your name funny too, Izzy. That must stay between me and Izzy. Who is Izzy? Yeah, Izzy. So we have a responsibility, each of us, to take some time, go over that list and see if we could identify who some of the people are. Yeah? Every constituency has that responsibility. The only people we are allowing right now is Carriacou and Petit Martinique, only because there's nobody on the list for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We know what happened on the 1st of July. At the beginning of July, Carriacou and Petit Martinique was destroyed. So we didn't expect to see. I would have been very, very suspicious and surprised had I seen anybody on the list for Carriacou and Petit Martinique as having registered in that period of time. Because I want to know which office they register in. Yeah? So the list is out. Make sure you check it out. All right? Yeah, we all have to make sure that we take the opportunity and we check the list out. Nice.
It's a celebration, we love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. Happy anniversary, NNP. Happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years of resilience.
And folks, the zonal meetings continue to increase in size
Now carrying hope for a bright
and continue to increase in energy.
the new national party.
I wonder, listen, the way I seen some of these zonal meetings, I afraid for when it have rally and them kind of thing, because the kind of energy I hearing drum beating last night, I hearing whistle blowing, all again me frightened, boy.
We're the best party and we know it. Happy anniversary, NNP. Happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years and going strong, providing a solid foundation for the nation's future. 40 years of great.
But what I realize now is that every time we have a zonal meetings, there are some activists of a particular political party that claims to be in office right now, so I don't know why they're so afraid. A political party that always saying that that NNP done, that's the end of NNP, yeah, right? Better than all the talk before and they get 15-0. So they continue saying these things and they continue getting more and more scared every time they see NNP have a meeting. Why are you afraid so? And all they say NNP done, that's the end of NNP, forget NNP, that kind of thing. Oh, you all are the ones who've been saying that. So why are you afraid so? Why all of a sudden are you so frightened? Yeah? Why are you all so afraid? Why are you all so frightened? The new national party is having meetings and we're discussing issues. Dr. Mitchell spoke last night. You all take what you want from what Dr. Mitchell say and then that's what you all spread. No problem. Go right ahead. We're glad to have you watching. So we realize that you all watching. So welcome. Eventually you all may, if you all have the capacity to be so, be educated in relation to the issues at hand. Yeah? Because, I mean, what are you hearing from this government in relation to various things? Yeah? What are you hearing from them? Next to nothing. And folks, just to let you all know, as we're speaking about the zonal meetings, that the St. George Southeast, they will be having their zonal meeting this Thursday. So you know what's going to happen. Thursday I'm not going to come into studio, yeah? So St. George Southeast, they are having their zonal meeting this Thursday. It's going to be starting at 6:30, so we'll be broadcasting. But remember, I am doing the Friday program. Even though it's a holiday, I am, God's willing, doing the Friday program this week. So we look forward to our Friday night forum this week. It's every other week. As I promised, I'll be doing, God's willing, the Friday night forum this week. We'll be speaking on various issues, but also taking a look back at various things that have been happening. And also to let you all know that the Talking Points anniversary is coming close. Yeah. Talking Points anniversary is getting close. Talking Points, the Talking Points program will be officially 2 years old on the 14th of November. So we're going to do a special program that day. I'm just telling you all from now. Talking Points anniversary is coming up. So that one is going to be a nice one. We're looking forward to that one. Yeah, we're going to have fun on that. Folks, in a while I'll be opening the phone lines. Not quite yet because I'm having a problem here. I'm not understanding why what is happening, but something is happening with my cameras, and so tonight it's, I don't know, maybe finally decide to give up. But you all will be seeing it every now and again. You realize the image itself is kind of disappearing. But there's something that before I get into the other issues, and before I get into this one, because this one is going to be an extensive one that we have to deal with. This morning, it took me, and I know just not me, because the other people who were on the bus at that point in time, and the other people that were tied up in that traffic at that time, it took me 1 hour and 10 minutes from the bus terminal in St. George to the Limes in Grandance. I kid you not. 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I have to ask this administration, what is the hold up with H.A. Blaze Street? Because the majority of the traffic jam was going through Green Street, having to go through that back street there, and then come down to either come back on same H.A. Blaze Street and pass around by where they say they were supposed to finish since June with the police headquarters, yeah, that building, to come back around there to go onto the Carriacou, or continue along just after Marisho House to continue along. So what is taking place with the work on H.A. Blaze Street? Because I realize like nothing is being done. It's inconveniencing all the people that are heading down to the south of the island. And this is not the first time that I had that experience. Last week, it took me close to an hour as well. So I could imagine for people that have to do that every morning. I just had to do it this morning. But I could imagine for people that have to do that every morning. You come up and you take the crest of Scott Street, and when you look down, no, we're related, but you take the crest of Scott Street and you look across, and you're seeing traffic right going up on Green Street. And police officers there, they really can't do much. But you're seeing this long line of traffic, and then they block off the sharp turn, so you have to go down and come down to the side of Marisho House there to exit onto H.A. Blaze, the same H.A. Blaze Street. What is the hold up? These people are the same people that us talk about, oh, they get it done, and who is Mr. Minister, get it done, and all kind of thing. Get this done, because you know what is going to happen, folks? If the state of that road continues to be the same, we are going to end up in some serious problems when December reach. Because regardless of whatever, when December reach, it's like all the traffic in Grenada that's be heading to the south of the island, and the rest that probably come from somewhere else, coming up from the south of the island into town. It is terrible. I tend not to try to travel anywhere much. I live in the south, so I tend to try not to go anywhere. When you see those couple days coming down to Christmas, that is one of the hardest time to get me out of the house to say going into town or anything, because the traffic is usually terrible. I mean, we know Grenadians don't have the spending power as they usually have, but still, you have people who coming in to spend Christmas with their family. You have people who going out to spend Christmas outside. You have people who are conducting different types of business with the various hardwares and different things in the south of the island. So the traffic does be tied up. And if it's going to be tied up now, from H.A. Blaze Street, which is tying up, H.A. Blaze Street is tying up Scott Street, it's tying up Young Street. For those of you that ain't sure where Young Street is, where Marketing Board used to be there, right. It's tying up Scott Street, it's tying up Young Street, it's tying up the whole of town. Traffic could barely move just because they refuse to fix the piece of road on H.A. Blaze. What is it with the piece of road on H.A. Blaze Street that is so difficult to fix? You're telling me that we have no bitumen? You all got close to $16 million in the supplemental budget in relation to asphalt works. So that can't be the problem. You all also got millions of dollars otherwise that you could have used portion of to sort out that road. You telling me that road is more than a week work? What you all had to do on the road? The thing started to cave in. You all were informed. You did nothing about it. It caved in. And it's not a situation like Molyneux. This was something that you all could have dealt with quickly if you cared. Now you have this situation that people going to work, trapped in the traffic there. They left in good time to get to work. But because of the rigmarole that's taking place now between H.A. Blair Street and Green Street, they can't get down the road. Yet still, always Mr. Fix It. Always Mr. Implementation. Always Mr. Get It Done. But you don't understand the importance of making sure that that piece of road on H.A. Blair Street is fixed soonest. Soonest. So that the traffic could flow properly, so that people could get to work and children could get to school and so on in a reasonable period of time. I feel it for the people who had to go through this on a daily basis. Anyway, folks, we're going to open the phone lines in a little while, as I said. 440-7377, 3473-293101. Also, the Heroes Day. And I'm going through these now because there's something we're going to discuss now and I'm going to take up some time. The Heroes Day. Again, I maintain my position that I put forward on Wednesday night. It is unconstitutional to tell me how I have to celebrate a day. Mr. Prime Minister, you're fast. Mr. Prime Minister, you're out of place. Know your place. You cannot dictate to me. And you ought not to dictate to any other Grenadian how we decide to spend a day. You go and try and legislate it. Try it. Try and legislate and say that on that day we're supposed to be solemn. And we're supposed to be reverent. Reverent to who? Solemn for what? That is how, if you want to be that way, that is your personal decision. You ban amplified music on Saturday. So tell me, you all intended to go into the Seventh-day Adventist churches and stop them from playing their music? So if somebody had called and complained and say that there's an Adventist church next to me and it's making noise, so I want you all to come, you all would have sent police to go and deal with them? Because you decide that on that day, people have to be reverent and maybe their music may have been up-tempo. What about other Saturday worshippers? Because contrary to popular belief, Adventists are not the only Saturday worshippers. So what about other worshippers and so on? Because you find amplified music shouldn't play on that day, what is supposed to do? Put off church to the next Sunday? It is ill thought out. In fact, I don't think any thought went into it. The Prime Minister has a whim and he decides that he's operating on a whim. He wants to hero worship a particular group of individuals, and he finds everybody else must hero worship the same group of individuals. That is why what they had on Saturday, bus. He bus, and not no mini bus. No. This was a coaster. A well bus. Because people have rights. You make Wagiti and them have to take the thing and put it the following week. There are some young promoters, some people who new in the business, lose thousands of dollars. There's one promoter, they bought $4,000 in drinks. They pay for artists. They pay for advertising, everything. They pay for venue. The venue have another activity this Saturday. So guess what? They lost. The money they gave the artists and things, it's not like they could get it back. The money they pay for the venue, it is not them. So they're in a problem right now. They have problems right now. Are you going to refund these promoters because you had a whim, Mr. Prime Minister, and you just decide that is how everybody must celebrate or not celebrate or reverent on Saturday? What about the families of people from different communities here in Grenada? I want to call name tonight, but some all in St. Patrick listening and some all in St. Andrew listening, so all you know is all you are talking to. What about the people from those communities who feel aggrieved of what took place during the period of the revolution. The people who were locked up without any proper charge during the period of the revolution. What about those people? There are people who may decide that they want to celebrate on that particular day, and that is their constitutional and basic human right, that if they feel they want to celebrate, let them celebrate. They feel they want to go down in sackcloth and ashes on that day, that is their right. The Prime Minister of this country, there is no country in the Caribbean, none in the English-speaking Caribbean, where any leader of government or head of state has said to the people, on this day, this is how you have to behave. Only in Grenada, we have an upstart who Maurice Bishop wannabe, trying to play like he's a Maurice Bishop. So he want to dress like Maurice Bishop. He trying to talk like Maurice Bishop. Every picture that was out there of Maurice Bishop, he trying to recreate. But he has not the background of Maurice Bishop and the struggle of Maurice Bishop, but you want to play Maurice Bishop. He ain't no Maurice Bishop. These guys and them is paff. Them ain't no serious revolutionary or socialist or whatever they want to play. Them is paff. This is playtime for them. They ain't even know the basic concepts behind the things that they are trying to put forward. Because as far as I'm concerned, if these guys get a chance and they could lock you up, they lock you up. If they feel they could get away with it, they do it. You cannot tell me how I am supposed to celebrate a particular day or not celebrate. That is up to me. Because folks, the next thing we might hear, and I said it on Wednesday, the next thing we might hear is that, well, Good Friday, you can't do nothing. No, if you check Good Friday, from the Thursday night, there are activities, and on Good Friday, there are other activities that take place the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday. The whole weekend basically is full of various activities. People have parties, people are different. Not everybody into the religious aspect of it, and not because you believe that, okay, this is how you're supposed to be and this is how you means that you could put that on me. You can't legislate to me how I am supposed to feel about a particular day, Mr. Prime Minister, like you're going off. You cannot be mentally well, and you're a lawyer. You're supposed to know better. You cannot legislate how I feel. That is against my rights. That's my basic, forget the Constitution. That is against my basic human right. You cannot legislate that. So if you want to go try and take it to Parliament and tell people how they must behave on that day, you try and take it to Parliament. Go ahead. Bring it there. I'll be one of the people leading the protest. I tell you all you know. And all you had to give me permission to have it. Asking, I'm not going the right way, no. A writing. You cannot legislate those things. Know your place. Know your place. But you see, you get away with it once. You get away with it twice. So you come with it the third time. And it just withdraw. Now, we are not in a state of emergency. The Constitution makes provisions when you're in a state of emergency that you can take certain measures for the protection of life and property and health of individuals. Yeah? So you can take different things during a state of emergency. For instance, during the COVID crisis. Because you were under a state of emergency, it allowed the administration to take certain things because people's lives were in danger. So you were able to take different measures because people's lives were in danger. But whose life was in danger on Saturday? That you decide that you ain't letting no music and thing play so people can't do different thing. And we as Grenadians sit down there and take that, you know. We as Grenadians sit down there and we take that. So now you feel now that is okay, you could just do that, everybody afraid him. So like all afraid him. So like everybody afraid him now, so just do it again. So Christmas time, people might put together and say they're doing this, they're doing that, and they might get another note again a day or two before. Well, we're banning all activities because we want everybody to go to this location. You ban activities to try to get everybody to go up to Progress Park. And you're still coaster because you didn't bust. That was too big to be a bust. You're coaster. Because nobody ain't come up. Where you had up there? People still ain't bother with you. NNP meeting last night had more people than you had up there. NNP zonal meeting had more people than you had. And you had free bus island-wide. Free bus! All over the place, all we have free bus. Come on up to Progress Park. Heavy advertising. Radio, television, internet. Heavy advertising. Word of mouth. Activists going around telling people, come, let we go. And all you're still coaster. That should tell you something. Grenadians, if we do not put a check on this administration, we're going to find ourselves in a short time from now, not able to speak, not able to participate in certain things. We will find ourselves in some serious problems. Grenadians are warning all you. If we continue to remain quiet about these kind of things, if we continue to remain quiet and not say, look what has happened now to the teachers. Let me show you all something that I got just before the program this evening. So this is a circular that has been sent out, right? Circular number 66 of 2024. And let's go over circular number 66 of 2024 and we'll read it out, especially for our listeners on radio who cannot view what it is that we're looking at here. It says here, from the Chief Education Officer acting at the Ministry of Education. And this is to officers of the schools and curriculum divisions, head of Student Support Services Unit, Testing and Measurement Unit, managers, supervisors, Grenada Union of Teachers, principals and staff of all public pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools. So you see who this letter is going to. It is dated today, the 21st day of October, the 10th month of 2024. And the subject is the use of social media by public officers. The Ministry of Education informs that the Public Service Commission has been made aware of social media posts by public officers that have the potential to bring the state into disrepute. In this regard, public officers are advised to avoid making posts on social media that could reasonably be determined to tarnish both their reputation and that of the public service. The Commission requests all public officers to exercise responsibility in their pronouncements on social media and other broadcast platforms. Following this circular, the Commission will take appropriate action should it be reported that officers, through their posts, have brought themselves and the public service into disrepute. Principals are asked to bring this circular to the attention of all officers on staff, who are required to sign a copy to indicate that they have read and understood its contents. Kindly return the signed copy to the Office of the Chief Education Officer by Monday, November 18th, 2024. And it's signed by Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, the Chief Education Officer. Look his signature down here. Right. So this letter has been sent out. This letter, I'll leave it up while I talk for the interim. This letter has been sent out. So it's basically saying to teachers, and you see here specifically they speak to the Grenada Union of Teachers. So they are basically telling teacher Jude, the same Jude who does be there and talking about the government really care about teachers and the government this for teachers and the government that for teachers and the prime minister would never. The same Jude, they're telling him right now to shut up. They are saying to him, so teachers who are not receiving their salaries cannot go on Facebook and say, I ain't getting my salary. They can't go and complain. So teachers, if you are one of the 70 plus who was being paid before and did not get paid in this last payment, all of a sudden your name drop off the payroll too. So you didn't get your money. You can't go on social media and say you ain't get paid because according now to the Chief Education Officer on behalf of the Public Service Commission, Because he said now the Ministry of Education informs that the Public Service Commission. So this is a warning from the Public Service Commission, not just and don't get it twisted, while they are numbered. This goes for people like Mr. Brian Grimes too. Because Mr. Brian Grimes, he loves Facebook. No matter the issue, if it's a workers issue or some other issue, you see Mr. Grimes posting. Mr. Grimes, this for you too, you know. As far as the Public Service Commission is concerned right now, you are a hush. You can't post nothing on Facebook and so on again. Because if you post something on Facebook and somebody report what you have posted on Facebook, Mr. Grimes, to the Public Service Commission, it is considered that what you have posted has brought the government into disrepute or the public service into disrepute. So you can't complain on behalf of your workers that are not being paid, because that could be considered bringing the service into disrepute. For Mr. Jude Bartholomew, Teacher Jude, it says to you, you can't go and do no live again, and forget that, because they specifically named the Grenada Union of Teachers in this thing. And social media is by doing them live on them, what you just be doing, them same live, which half of the time you're cussing and the other half you're praising the government. Yeah, them live. Because if you say anything that brings any civil servant into disrepute or the service into disrepute, in other words, if you complain that teachers are not being paid and you're upset, you can be dragged before the Public Service Commission. So it's like we living in a dictatorship right now. So the Prime Minister decrees and everybody had to go on the knees. So when the Prime Minister decrees now that you can't do nothing on that Saturday, you have to stay home and relax, so you have to think, and you have them idiot and them posting thing and talking about, oh, it's so nice, we must do this more often. Well, ain't go in hell. It's a space for only down there. And only do enough to arrive. Well, ain't go there. Because I can't understand this kind of thing. So we supposed to not say nothing. And now I'm talking on behalf of the public servants, because it seems as though the public servants are not allowed to speak on behalf of themselves. What is happening in our country? Remember, this is the same government that went to the different ministries, that went to the different boards of the statutory body, the people that working in the statutory bodies, that went to them and make them sign non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. In other words, they cannot say what is going on where they work in. So if you are working in one of the statutory bodies, you are not allowed to bring out any information. If you see something wrong taking place inside there, you have to hush your mouth. If you see corruption taking place in a statutory body or government ministry, these sort of things say that you cannot say nothing. Let the corruption take place. You can't say nothing. Because if you say something, you finding yourself with the full weight of the Public Service Commission being thrown at you. Because the Public Service Commission has been weaponized against workers in this country. I don't know if what or I think so. I know so, and it is a fact. And if they want to take us to court for speaking the truth, then go right ahead. I'm sure I have enough lawyers. Because this is wrong. You telling me that all the workers can't say? Listen, and the thing is, this rule seems to only apply to certain people, because there are certain nurses and certain teachers and certain other people within the public service who post the nastiest, most disgusting things about people, things they don't know, things that are totally untrue, and they feel free to say anything about anybody. Not one of them find themselves in front of the Public Service Commission. Not one of them had a warning letter handed to them by the SAO or the permanent secretary within the department that they work in. Not one of them. Once they're praising the government and they say nasty thing about the opposition, or they're saying nasty thing about who they perceive as the opposition, once they're saying nasty thing about them, oh, let them talk. Don't worry, that's one of we. But make a mistake, be working in a ministry, and say that a minister didn't smell right when he passed, you ending up in front of the Public Service Commission. That's the kind of Grenada that we're living in right now. This Maurice Bishop wannabe that we have as a prime minister, he's a wannabe. It is clear that we are heading in a direction that if we do not speak up and we do not speak out about what is taking place in this country and we do not take action to stop it. Yes, we have to take action, whether it's through the courts or any legal means necessary. We have to do what has to be done to stop this nonsense from taking place. These are the same people that were speaking about Freedom of Information Act. And as soon as they get in office, what they do? All public servants, all you have to sign, all you can't say nothing. Because we find Jenny Simon getting too much wrong envelope. Sheldon Scott getting too much wrong envelope. So they make them sign non-disclosure agreements so that they cannot, if they are caught passing information, they have something now they could deal with them on a specific level. That is what has been taking place in this country from since June of 2022. This is not the first letter like this that came out, you know. There was one that came out previously to all public officers generally, but it has been reiterated here. And you see they speak of the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission, and let me just pull the letter back for you. The Public Service Commission is not just for teachers, it's for all public servants, or if you want to call them civil servants. It is for all public officers. So this is not a warning, while they have mentioned specifically the Grenada Union of Teachers. So imagine that you are on the executive of the Grenada Union of Teachers. Your union holds a press conference. The press conference is broadcast via social media. You make statements, and those statements are considered to be, well, watch, we're talking about the fact that teachers are not being paid. And we believe that this situation needs to be fixed and fixed now. And we believe that we are being ignored and ill-treated and so on, and we are not taken seriously. So you, as an executive member of the Grenada Union of Teachers, it seems as though you can't say that. So listener, if all you can't say it, contact Jenny Simon, contact me, we go talk for all you. If all you're afraid to say it, contact us, we go talk for all you. Will you go to jail, me? Go ahead. All your lawyers are my lawyers. But I know that I have right on my side. Because we ought to be able to speak in our country. There's only one other period that people are afraid to speak in this country, you know. And nobody could convince me of this nonsense that during the revolution everybody had freedom of speech. That's nonsense. Anybody telling you that, you know that this person is mentally unstable. Because Leslie Pierre didn't go to jail because he picked up a gun and tried to shoot anybody. You know, Leslie Pierre went to jail because he spoke his mind and they were writing and they were doing a newspaper. What did Lloyd Noel and all these people go to jail for? They pick up gun, they try to bomb, blow up place? No. They went to jail because they spoke out. And they find that these people had no right to speak out at that period of time. So don't give me the impression that the revolution was all about, yes, the revolution had the good, but admit that it had it bad too. People could not speak their mind. And all you know that is a fact. You spoke your mind, you go to jail. So don't come and try to say it otherwise. And this period with the Maurice Bishop wannabe is shaping up the same. They're trying to put it into a way that you cannot talk. So right now the unions, they find the unions talking too much. Unions, that is your dose of shut up. That is your dose of shut up. Because they realize social media is how you all are getting out your message. Teacher Jude does go and he do it live. And when he do it live, he put on his fire. He say what he had to say. Yes, I still believe that, you know, my personal issue with him is I believe that he is very, very two-sided when it comes to this thing. He always trying to make it look like the government this and the government, everything good with the government and the government like them and the government doing things for teachers and all kind of thing. Yeah, they do some things, but they're trying to shut you up and you all don't recognize that the union busting. You don't recognize that is what's taking place? You don't realize the concerted effort that is taking place here? You have one loudmouth idiot that's out there every day attacking either Dr. Mitchell or Brian Grimes. If it's not Dr. Mitchell, it's Brian Grimes. If it's not Brian Grimes, it's Dr. Mitchell. Why are you attacking these individuals? Because these individuals are speaking truth to power. They're speaking what is a fact out there. You feel they attack me because of any other thing except that they afraid my mouth? That is why they attack me. They are afraid of my mouth. They afraid me. And I know it for a fact. I don't say that as a boast because me or nobody afraid me. Me and no boogeyman. But these people are afraid. So that's why they'll always attack me. And I expect it. I look for it. I know it's coming. I don't bother with it. What I going to do? Don't sleep in the night? Because they're coming for me? I ain't care about that. They had 11 seats last time. NNP had 4. They lose all 11. Including the Prime Minister lose his seat. Including one seat they won by 1,000 something, they lose it. So I go afraid them who win 9? Please. Please. Tillman Thomas, who like he forget what take place with him during the period in time that he was locked up in Richmond Hill too, simply for opening him out. Like he forget that now. So like he can't talk to these fellas who playing there's the new revolution. And you see them, you know, watch how they dress. Watch how they try to talk and elocute themselves. They're watching Maurice Bishop's speech and they're trying to talk like Maurice Bishop. They see Bishop have pictures with nurses, they try to get at. Maurice have pictures with children, they try to get at. Maurice have pictures with elderly people, they're trying to get at. Everything they're trying to do like if there's Maurice Bishop. And then they're trying to make friends with certain people now, so they bring down Ralph Gonsalves down here. Let me don't say what I have to say about Ralph, but they bring Ralph Gonsalves down here. To come and say what? To come and tell us what? Brother Ralph, when you came to Grenada, you know what you should have been doing? You should have been saying to the present Prime Minister, look, we've already built over 1,000 houses back without the CRIF money. We have already built back over 1,000 houses. Mr. Prime Minister, what are you doing? Best you just give the Grenadines, Carriacou and Petit Martinique so that we could help them. Because apparently you and your government can't do it. How many houses have they built in Petit Martinique? You all saw the situation with Petit Martinique. How many houses have they built there? They're now trying and rush and do some in Carriacou. They're now trying and rush and do some in Carriacou. Meanwhile, every time Ralph give a report, first they hear 500 and something, first they hear 300 and something, they hear 500 and something, now it's over 1,000 and something. Plus he had temporary schools built, not tents, temporary schools built and all sorts of things. So maybe when Comrade Ralph came here, he should have spent that time trying to educate the Prime Minister of Grenada in how you do things. From his experience and from what he is able to do now without the CRIF money that this administration got. And they don't want you to talk about the CRIF money, they want you to forget about that. Don't talk about the CRIF money. Oh, while you talk about the CRIF money is nothing. The CRIF money is nothing. Well, look, nothing. Look what nothing was able to do in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Look what nothing was able to do in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So if CRIF money was nothing, look what nothing could do. But all your nothing ain't reached to that level. All your nothing has not been able to do that. Yeah? So when you bring Ralph, that is what Comrade Ralph should have come here and talk about. That is where Comrade Ralph should have been educating you about. He should have spent the time not speaking to the people of Grenada, but speaking to you on behalf of the people of Grenada. Because it's best right now that St. Vincent and the Grenadines take over Carriacou and take over Petit Martinique. Best we give them Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Because this administration ain't seem like they're able to handle the problems there. It ain't seem like they're able to handle the problems there. So it's best we give Comrade Ralph. At least the people there would be able to see some sort of future for themselves compared to what is taking place now. Folks, we're going to open the phone lines. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to open the phone lines. 440, let me clear the lines right now. Let me pull up the WhatsApp. Right, yeah, let me pull up the WhatsApp and so. Right, so I clear everything. Everything is open right now, folks. So you can call 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And we've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, I'm Sheldon.
Well, I'm wondering where you're going. I find I wasn't hearing you.
By the cold knocked me out, boy.
What? That cold? Well, you know my history and that cold for the last few weeks.
Yeah, but boy, I've been drinking bushes and taking my vitamins and just relax.
All right.
Let me tell you. Dickens can be a Morris. He can't even imitate as Morris. I know Morris. And I've seen Morris in my eyes now. He not redskin. He don't have the bush wrong in face. He don't have them bush jack shot Morris you saw, eh? Right? He trying a thing, but he cannot. And he won't reach where Morris reach. And the amount of sacrifice that Morris make, the amount of things that Morris did, Deacon can't go there. He can't touch there. So he better stop imitating Morris. And the teachers, the union helped to bring down the NMP government. So the union had to help to bring down the NMP. The union helped to bring down the NMP government. So the union had to help now to bring down the NDC government. That is all I have to say for tonight. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to tonight's program. Yes, indeed. Give us a call, 440-7377. That's the number to get on to the inside, yeah? And 347-329-3101.
We going strong and getting stronger. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. If you tell looking
So, folks, just remember those of you in New York,
happy anniversary.
because you see, the new National Party announced they having the meeting up there. The other side rush, they trying to have things same day and all. Yeah, I ain't giving no further information than that. Yeah, we've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
How old is the revolution now?
The revolution ended 41 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
how
41.
old is the Prime Minister of Grenada right now?
The Prime Minister of Grenada, I think, is about 46 or 47.
Okay, so the Prime Minister of Grenada had just like 5 years old, right?
Mhm.
5 years. So what he know about the revolution? When the revolution was like I had 25 years, and I could say everything because that day I had one child and I almost jumped a truck, a Janet truck in Tivoli to go down to St. George's and see people go in, and I say I will go to. But something said, no, Margaret, don't go nowhere. You have your child to look at. Time evening time, I see parents say you have killing. I have one brother. He had us to jump down on the foot. And that time, this man though, they they are wrong at all, So I want to know now how he could come and imitate Maurice Bishop. What he know? Nothing. So this man is like awake. And then what I try to say with Grenadian people, they are too hypocrites. The last time I say I never sorry. When you see Carriacou and you believe it's egg today, look what's happening today with them. Every night you're on the radio bawling. Other people bawling and they still wouldn't bawl. It's like the Prime Minister went in Uganda, wherever, and he did bring back this disease to Grenadians. Grenadians would have smiled and say he bring back food for them to eat. So you see today now what's really happening to these people and them today are outside state just as coming. And never sorry. Let they only have to try now for the election to come, sit down and pray. And sometimes they still put it back there. So you see, Grenadians, they are very deceitful. So I don't say what we get it. And I don't have to say, Grenadians, we deserve the Prime Minister that we have today. Let everyone bow. Let everyone suffer until amen. We must have an amen. Don't they tell you? Corruption is only for a time. And every day, every night, we sleep on way. That was one closer to the NDC. And I just pray to God must come out there. Everything is just one time. So Grenadian, hold on. If I want to ball, I don't know if it's Maurice Bishop Spirit there across your throat and you can ball. But ball, just stifle yourself Grenadian, ball and see what will happen. So Sheldon, have a good night.
All right, my dear, thank you. This is the thing. We have to speak out and say that, hey, you're going the wrong direction. And you see, the problem here too is that the Prime Minister has some people who cheering him on and who telling him yes, because you see, they have their benefits that they are gaining. They have their benefits that they are gaining. So they are cheering on the Prime Minister with what he's doing. Yes, you lock down the place, you do a good thing. Yeah, let all of them come up in Progress Park. Everybody must come up there. No music. We say no music. Well, you feel this is curfew time? You feel this is after what? You know what happened there is nearly the same thing that happened 41 years ago. Because 41 years ago, after the events on the 4th, people were told, stay in your place, don't come outside. If you come outside, you go get shoot. Stay in your place. And it's the same kind of thing that come and happen 41 years after. I'll tell you the playing like... Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Good night, bro.
Hey, what's up?
I got a question. It might be funny, but
I hope I can answer.
If happen that NDC period run out and they don't call an election date, what will then happen?
No, they must call an election, or the Governor General will have to do it for them, I believe. There's a specific time. I think it's 3 months after the first sitting of the Parliament. It's not up to the date of when the election was. It's 3 months after this first sitting of the Parliament. So when that happens, if that time comes and they don't call an election by then, the government automatically falls. The Governor General had to do what the Governor General had to do.
She had to step in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
She or he. You never know who it could be at that point in time.
Well, hope you see and not they substitute whatever you call it that they put in substitute the last time now.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And folks, this is another one. I see them referring to Mr. Tillman Thomas as the Deputy Governor General. We have no such thing. Yeah? Someone can deputize on behalf. Somebody can deputize on behalf of the Governor General when said Governor General is outside of the state of Grenada. It could be for an hour. It could be for a year. Someone can deputize. That is how you become the deputy. You are deputizing on behalf of the Governor General of Grenada. But nobody. So when they talk about Mr. Tillman Thomas as deputy to the Governor General in Grenada, the Governor General, as far as I know, was not out of the state of Grenada. Her Excellency was here. And as such, she could have no deputy. But you see, hurry come see. They don't know, but they like to talk. Yap. Yeah? Because if they didn't like to talk so, ask the Prime Minister if he has read the Integrity in Public Life legislation. All you're writing people now and telling them about time to come and file with the Integrity Commission, no problem. As long as all of your people explain how their bank account looking fat so right now. So yeah, let's go to the Integrity Commission. I want to write Dr. Mitchell time to go to the Integrity Commission and other people. No problem. Let's do that. Everybody had to do it now. We have a call online. Hello?
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hey,
yes, good night, Sheldon. How are you doing?
I'm good. You go right ahead, my dear.
Yeah, I just want to make a point. I just want to make a point in connection with the Prime Minister's age. He said in the conference, when he said he was born in 1977. So if he born in 1977, he can be 46 years because my son born in 1978. So check that. Say he born in 1977. You have a good night.
All right, my dear. But the thing is this. I think we've pretty much, I'm sorry for those of you that were trying on a straight line, I've just cleared it. We pretty much all understand that the Prime Minister was basically a baby in arms or just starting to walk or something when the revolution was taken. He ain't know nothing about the revolution. But in not knowing anything about the revolution, he's trying to play the biggest revolutionary right now. He trying to play like he's revolution. He's a paff. He is a paff. He ain't no revolutionary. Go and speak to Lane and Bogo and them and find out about how revolutionary is. And speak to Uncle Tilly. He go tell you about revolutionaries. Yeah? He spent enough time in jail because of them. Speak to Uncle Tilly. Yeah? He gonna tell you. But we know he's a hypocrite. Because only a hypocrite can go through what he went through for the period of the revolution, locked in jail, simply because you had a different perspective to the individuals who were in power at that point in time. Locked in jail because you were not allowed to speak your mind and say what you want to speak. And then you are encouraging a group of young people to do the same thing. To do the same thing that was done to you. So now they are threatening the entire public service. Every man, Jack, and woman, Jane, within the public service, they are threatening them that if they say anything that can be construed as attacking the public service or bringing the public service into disrepute, they are attacking them to the point of that if they say anything, these individuals going to end up in front of the Public Service Commission. And listen, don't get it twisted. There are various people that have already ended up in front of the Public Service Commission simply because they are perceived to be friends of people in the New National Party. Not because of any wrongdoing. And not one, not two. Not because people ain't talking about it and you keep it quiet. Don't think that people have not been dragged before the Public Service Commission already by this administration. They're trying to do like the most pro. This is the most anti-worker administration. The most. I don't see how some trade unionists could say that they're supporting this administration. This is the most anti-worker administration that we have ever seen in this country. The Grenada United Labour Party came out of the trade union movement. So you couldn't consider them to be anti-worker and anti-trade union. The GNP, when they had the local thing, them wasn't anti-worker. The revolution, with all its faults, could never have been considered to be anti-worker. But yet still you had the Herbert Blaise administration, you had Ben Jones, you had Nicholas Braffett, you had George Brizan, you even had the last Tillman Thomas, and of course you had the Dr. Keith Mitchell. None of them can be considered anti-worker as this administration. But you see, it's the face dressing. It's the makeup that they put on to look nice. It's the window dressing that they add to the whole thing to try and give the impression that they love workers. No, they don't love workers. They love workers' votes. That is what they love. They love workers' votes. So they give you the little crumbs off the table and they say, okay, we increase the minimum wage. But when you go and you check the same cooks in the school who was talking about on the platform, they're still getting $800 a month. They're not getting minimum wage. The same cooks in the school who they went and they cry about on the platform, oh, the cooks in the school, and they're treating them bad, and they had them on contract. They're on contract. You increase the minimum wage and they still ain't getting it. All of the things that they say they do for workers and they do for this and that, they don't like workers. They like workers' votes. Get it right. We have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello. Hello. Okay, that person is not listening to the phone line. Let's go to the other. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, sorry to call back.
Yeah, remember the rules.
15 years at a time. I used to be turning the Just Sector machine, printing the jewel paper by Sambas in O'Kenny St. David. Right? In going up in PTA Town. Right? I know where the guns and them was. I know where the guns was in Cottage.
We still coming, we still arresting you, you know.
Right? But Deacon don't know nothing about the revolution. He don't know nothing about the new jewel movement.
Remember,
so I don't know why don't keep it like behind quiet. Why he imitating Morris?
But there, remember the rules. One call a program. So.
Yes, but he lying and he better better keep your little skin quiet and
Okay.
let people who know the history talk about the Jewel. When they
My
come
dear.
for Teddy Victor, I was right there with Teddy Victor. When the mongoose young and them come for Teddy and Teddy run and they fire the gun in Teddy Victor mother house and Teddy run and we never know where Teddy Victor was. So watch, look. Anyhow, Sheldon, all right.
Okay, my dear. No, I know this evokes emotions in a lot of people, and you got to understand that and allow them the opportunity to express themselves. And I understand that. Yeah? Let's go to the phone lines again. Let's go to the phone. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Okay. Brother Sheldon, when you have so many difficulties, the people in Grenada and Carriacou and people that are going through, the teachers, so a teacher work and within 3 to 4 months, they can't get their salary. The teachers speaking out about the injustice they are going through. You are the president of the unit of the unit teachers. That his client, he had to speak out what is going on with the teachers, and that's a right. Right? So if you don't do nothing wrong, the teacher will not speak out. But when they do the wrong thing, and they have to speak out. So instead of them trying to pay the teachers the money, they will put things in place to censor the teachers for speaking out and public servants for speaking out. But if you don't want them to speak out, do what is right. Do what is right. And pay them when they walk. They had the family. They had to get them to buy food for them, buy clothes, pay bus to go to school. They had to go to work. And they don't get money, so they have a right to speak out. Instead of you try to pay them people, you tell them don't talk. Don't talk now. Look at the situation again in Carriacou. Right? With the condition of the children. Right? The teachers have a right to speak out about that. But actually, when you go through the country, bushes or both side of the road, the road gets so narrow. Right? Instead of the government put out people on the road workers to walk and clean out the side of the road, so it will be easier for traffic to come on both sides to see one another. They try to put things in place to censor the public service and people from not speaking. We always say you will try, but you will fail. And when you do wrong things, the people are going to compete and think about it. But I shall have a
All right, thank you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside. And I missed some calls on the overseas line. Folks, you can call 347-329-3101. You can give us a call as well. And let's go back to the phone line here. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Sure.
Hi. Lower the volume in the background.
Yeah,
We're not
night.
hearing you clearly. Too
Good
much
night.
noise in the background. Yeah, go ahead now.
Listen to me. I was listening to the Prime Minister the last press conference, and they asked him about concerning the road network in Grenada and how the road deteriorated and things. And he say that the mix it had to get material, it had to get. But when the Prime Minister was coming to Grenada, they grade the whole Tublo road and they repair it in less than 2 weeks. Where they get the material from? This Prime Minister, so I don't believe the Prime Minister doing this thing on his own. He had these colleagues and them with him and them giving him advice and he don't know what he doing. That based on my experience, that is what's going on. The same thing they used to do to Maurice Bishop, to do and kill people and make stupidness. That is the same thing they're doing to him. They're bringing him down because they realize definitely that he wasn't a party member and he acting like if he have a lot of experience and he do things. And they bring him down and they realize they're bringing him down. That is what they're doing to him. So they take stupid advice from them. That guy don't have no sense. And I could tell you that. He's just blah blah anymore. He feel a lie and he could talk, but he's just blah blah anymore. That a lot of simple Grenadian could understand what he's saying and they could figure out what he's saying. He plain, he bright, he do bright. He's foolish, he's a foolish man. Okay, Sheldon.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside. Yeah, listen, we cannot allow this sort of behavior to continue. You cannot allow it. And not because he's the prime minister means he can't make mistakes. Because he's making mistakes. You can't tell me how to feel about something. You can't tell me how to celebrate or not celebrate something. You want to use the Noise Abatement Act? Go ahead, use the Noise Abatement Act. That is not what it's for. It's not for when a prime minister finds everybody must be quiet. And folks, you're looking at the undemocratic behavior of these wannabe revolutionaries. I'm sad, I'm sorry and for disrespecting the revolutionaries by even calling their name in conjunction with these individuals. But I've had no choice because it's all they want to be like. These are wannabes. All of them is a bunch of little coward, you know. Every man jack that's sitting in that cabinet there is a bunch of coward. None of them have no belly. All of them is a bunch of coward. They can't stand up for themselves, much less to stand up for Grenada. So that is why they have to suppress every voice that comes up that try to speak against them. So fly drone around Jenny house. Listen, touch one, touch all. Anything happen to Jenny, Simon, don't feel it's only she family and she all are we coming. We warning all you. The woman can't stay in she house. What are you trying to mako? A woman in she house and all you had drone flying around it. What are you trying to mako? But folks, we must remember, just before the last election, remember they had drone flying around Mount Royal. So this drone thing ain't just come up with them, you know. They had the drone flying around Mount Royal. Remember, Dr. Mitchell spoke about that on the platform during the last election. So don't get up. This drone thing is not new thing with them. That is their modus operandi. That is the way that they behave. So they fly in drone, they're trying to hack phone, it's all kind of thing they're trying to do. They want to get into your email, they have people following you. Dr. Mitchell go to Grenville, you have special branch following him going up Grenville. Not for his security, you know, but to Mako. You want to see which businessmen he speak to. You want to see which public servant sit down and speak to him so you could go in SSU camp on a Monday morning to make a report. Yes, I know about it. I don't feel I don't know where all your special branch houses to and every vehicle all you have. So all you can't follow me and feel that I don't know all you're following me. All you can't stand up in tongue and play all you taking smart photo and feel that I know is that going on. Don't feel we don't know. We know. We know that you all have private homes around different parts of the island. We know where they are and what you all doing. For you all to go and use that to find out who is the drug men in Grenada. Who is the men that deal in narcotics in Grenada. For you all to use the special branch to go and find out who they are. To find out who is the people that bringing the guns into the country. No, all you ain't doing that. All you trying to follow Dr. Mitchell because he go in Grenville and he shakes some businessman hand. So all you have to go up there and try and follow him. To try and snap picture him to go and bring in all your meeting. Well, all you feel we don't know what's going on? We know very well what's going on because you all are trying to create a police state. You all want people to fear you all. That's what you all doing. People going somewhere, car following them. What all your Mac going so for? Leave Jenny Simon alone. The woman is in her private property. All you flying drone around she place. Now one, you know. Well, like was an invasion. No one drone they flying around the woman's house. And all you find that right? All you must do that? She doesn't have a right as a Grenadian citizen to any privacy. So people must just do that to her? Come on, man. Is a woman, is a female, she has a right to her privacy as any Grenadian have their right to their privacy. It is wrong. But you see, we don't have a civil society in Grenada again. Civil society and certain segments of the society only speak up when the new national party is in office and they want to get rid of them. So they voice loud at that point in time. That is when you just hear the hypocrites like Sandra. Their voice only loud when the new national party is in office. But I'm telling all you, when the NNP come back in office, me have to tell all you nothing. No, when all you open all your mouth, the public go deal with all you. They are the ones go tell all you how to talk and what to talk. I ain't have nothing to say. because the new National Party will be returning to office soon. And some of all you who have mutitis right now that used to call all yourself Mr. and Mrs. Civil Society, who every issue, like the Ray Roberts and all these other waste of time and washouts, that used to have all kind of thing to say about what going on under the period of the NNP. But all now, the pen they used to write with dry up. The mouth they used to talk with like it have glue on it. They have not the ability to say anything except to come, as soon as you say that, they come with a personal attack on you because they lack the intellect and they also lack the moral authority to speak on any issue at this point in time. So they can't tell you nothing, so they have to attack you personally. All of a sudden they're on mute. But had the NNP been in office and you had somebody speaking out against the NNP and you had people flying drone around the place and all kind of thing, you walking into government ministries, shutting down certain people in the ministry, taking the computer and bringing it for forensic analysis because you believe that person passing information out. And that's supposed to be right. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, brother. Good night to Talking Points family.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm trying to be good.
All right, go right ahead, man.
I would like Miss Ferguson to come out and say and tell Andy how the lagoon used to look when she was fighting and talking about it. She should come out and do a video now and tell Andy how it used to look when Ross had it all whole and when NNP Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the NNP bring Peter DeSalvo to fix it for us. She should come out now and talk. So anyway, y'all have a good night. And NNP, we're ready to go through.
All right, my brother. I hope if you're in the New York area that you're heading out, that you're going to the meeting.
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Yes, folks. And for those of you in the New York area, just to give you all a reminder, the new location of the meeting is at the Nazareth Regional High School. That's at 475 East 57th Street in Brooklyn, New York, 11203 between Clarendon Road and Ditmas Avenue. I ain't no New Yorker, so I don't know Clarendon from Ditmas. I don't know them place and them. So Nazareth Regional High School, that's 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203 between Clarendon Road and Ditmas Avenue. All right, so just reminding you all. And then remember, the bingo is taking place this Sunday. I remember we have bingo. It's taking place this Sunday. So for those of you here in Grenada, yes, you know, we're doing bingo this Sunday. So you can call 440-1875, 440-1876 during the day, and you would be able to get some information in relation to buses and so on. For those of you that want to get the buses, yeah, you can get that information from the main office. They will tell you, okay, you're in St. Andrew Southeast, this is who you need to speak to. You're in St. George Northeast or St. George South, who you need to speak to get the buses to head on up to the bingo. 440-737 Lee, Jenny, all to Marco. All you sending drone around the human place for? All your Marco. What for all you to go and Marco? Go and Marco who bringing gun in the country. That is all you have to go and Marco. Jenny Simon look like any gun runner at all, yeah? Go and Marco who bringing gun in the country and endangering the lives of us and our children. Go and find them. Go and find the people who may be transshipping drugs through our country. Go and find them. That is all you have to go and look for. Don't fly drone around a woman's house just because you find she doing a program and you don't like what she's saying. You know, I only have one problem with Jenny Simon program. I don't believe in the part where she does say she keeping them honest. They have to be honest for you to keep them there. These are not an honest group of people. So when she says she's continuing to keep them honest, Auntie Jenny, that's the only part I don't agree with you on. They have to be honest for you to keep them there. These people ain't honest. Every week you're showing them as such. They ain't honest. Yeah, let's go. Oh boy, I lost that call. Sorry, caller, you'll have to give me a call back. 440-737-7347, 329-3101 those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. Dr. Mitchell go in the zonal meeting, he make a statement, they take it and they twist it all how. We have a caller online. Hello.
Mr. Scott.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad, you know.
My brother.
How things?
Day, man. I know I said we'd do a little thing, but man, you know, timing does go sometime.
I know, man. You know to see that. We know how that go.
Yeah, man.
Good night to Talking Point family. You know, and to all those, you know, wherever you are listening. You know, Sheldon, this National Hush Day was the start of NDC campaign, Right? Not National Hero Day. National Hush Day was the start of NDC's political campaign. Right? Because they basically turned the October 19th, you know, martyrs commemoration, right, into something that people are confused about, you know, by using, in my view, Heroes Day on a day when, I mean, I just sometimes, you know, I just wonder or think some of these people who are making these decisions, if they have any empathy for persons, you know, who been there, done that, and everything like that. And it's difficult because what I want to say, I can't say it on air.
But man, as a person who was there when they take Bishop out the house, as a person who was there in the room with Maurice Bishop and all the other individuals on the same day that they were executed, you were in the room with Maurice. You were there when the firing started. You could have been killed on that particular day. You were there, man. And who saved it? Was Bugman who saved your life there? Bugsy who pushed you out?
Bugman, Lieutenant Tipoli.
You understand? That saved your life on that particular day from you ending up in that line too, when everybody was being taken out today. And to take that day, which in my mind, if you want to have something on that day, you can call it Remembrance Day. You could call it Martyrs Day if you want to say they are martyrs. You could call it Martyrs Day, Remembrance Day. But Heroes Day, which is something to be celebrated, heroes should be celebrated, should be a next day. You can't take that day and try to take away the events of October 19th to it and put what you want on it. That's disrespectful to the day.
Yeah, it is. It is disrespectful to the day. And disrespectful to the Grenadian people who knew what went on and who have an appreciation for October 19th. I mean, putting all politics aside and everything like that is not a time when you should be on a platform like the Prime Minister did, right? On a platform talking about something about, you know, who is who and who is patriotic or some foolishness like that. You understand? Because, and you know why you say that? Because of the poor attendance that he saw at Progress Park. Mm-hmm. He was embarrassed. You understand? And if I tell you, Sheldon, I was supposed to be part, right, of that whole Heroes Day thing, you know. You know, I was asked by a number of persons, you know, including soldier men, you know, to be part, to basically call out the list. The same list that Rhonda Robinson called, right? Between me and you, I was approached to do that. But when the list was sent to me, right, and everything, and I looked at it, and I was like, no, there is some contradiction there, right, in terms of who died on October 19th and who died on October 25th, in terms of soldiers, and I had serious problem with that. And not only that, Sheldon, for 41 years, 40 years, you know, this commemoration being celebrated. And I told you that already. Mm-hmm. I have never been to none of the October 19th. I can't say up to a point that if it is a good thing that I'm doing or if it is a bad thing. But something about this entire thing, I'm not feeling comfortable, right, in terms of just being either on the fort or being part of any kind of thing on that day. You understand, more than just to be, by yourself and reflect. Because when you come that close, right, myself, persons like Miss Bain, right, and others, and so when you watch persons just bleeding on the ground, right, their whole back blown out and all that sort of thing, persons get shot in the head and you see the pain in their blood and everything like that. It's something, persons who was inside of that room on day as October 19th, they don't want to be part of any kind of celebration or even to commemorate. It's difficult.
But let me ask you, Devon. If you're saying heroes in various countries, I know if you go in European countries right now, you see monuments to people who died in defense of their country.
Oh yes.
You go in various other countries, African countries, you see the same thing, Asian countries, countries that had serious warfare over the years. You see monuments to people who have died in defense of their country. Here in Grenada, we have about 4 monuments, because you have the one to the American soldiers outside of the Point Saline, Maurice Bishop International Airport. You have the one to the Cubans that died. You have one at the Center Cemetery, I believe, to the Grenadian soldiers.
Yeah.
And you have another one within the SGU campus to the American soldiers again that died. So you have, that's at least 4 monuments that you have to the Grenadian soldiers. And folks, I'm sorry about the video. I'm not sure what's happening with my video tonight. It's giving me some problems. If it continues to get worse, I may have to end the program a little earlier than normal. But I know it's happening, but I honestly don't know what to do to fix it right now. Yeah. So you have these situations. Now, if you're saying heroes, would you consider the men who stand up and fight, even if you agree with them, you don't agree with them, but the men that fight the people who were invading the island at that point in time, that said, this is Grenada and we're defending Grenada's territorial integrity? For instance, the crew of the armored cars who went down to Point Saline and were killed down there. Do you say that these guys are heroes? Because remember, it's the same men who was in the armored car that went up on the fort and shoot Grenadians, huh?
Yeah, Roy and Twine and the Blackie and all these guys and them, Carter. It's a number, soldiers.
What about Blondell Church?
Well, yeah, Blondell Church died on the
Grenada's Beach? Yes, on the fort he died, right?
No,
Grenada's Beach.
Blondell Church in Grenada.
Down by the dome.
He died on, yes. Blondell Church died in the on the stretch somewhere down there, right? In one of the things. But you see, Sheldon, in my view, politicians over the years been so timid and so soft about, trying to make that bold step in doing something about October 19th, right? We just, giving lip service and so. And this thing had to stop because, for example, so many persons are spreading so much of false information about that day itself. And yet for all, we don't see it fit to really pull people together, persons who have an idea as to what went on that day. You understand? And it's just... But
because you have people who come talking about heroes and they're basically guiding you in one direction to say these are our heroes. So they're guiding you into one direction. I believe there are some people who are iconic Grenadians. There are other Grenadians who are heroes, people that have put their life on the line to save other people's life or to defend other people. Yeah? My perception of a hero is different. And we have rules in relation to these things that simply just being ignored.
Of course, but watch. And I'll be honest. A lot of persons may not like what I see, but I want to be blunt and honest. No. So Earl Gary and Maurice Bishop, right, were charismatic leaders in their own right. Right? They did what persons wanted them to do. They came out in era that persons was glad to be part of that thing. But yet for all, too, those two leaders, right, led governments that was most repressive to the Grenadian people. And that's a fact. Who like it and like it. Gary, was over a period where there was a lot of things going on that Grenadians knew. Who knew about these times, who grew up around them times, knew what went on, right? That is, in my view, led to the revolution. The revolution came, Morris Bishop as a head. He was the head of a government that was very repressive. I was part of the revolution as a soldier. You understand? And we tend to hide these things. You want to be truthful. You want to call people hero. You want to think. Let's know everything about somebody. Right? Don't hide Morris Bishop and Sir Eric Gary history, the wrong things that they did that affected Grenadian people. On the other side, you want to praise them, right, only because they were leaders and people. Come on. We have to do better than that. And this government here is not doing, they're doing worse. Right? They are not doing anything to basically heal that situation. It's time for us to be honest. And once we are honest, we will get the truth. Grenada's history, especially after independence. Right? If we really want to get the truth about it, you have to involve persons who know about our history, and you have to be honest.
My brother, while you're speaking there, you send so much power, my video freeze, all kind of thing. If you see me fighting up in studio here to try and at least it seemed to be stable for the time being now. I know, you bring a blessing with you too, because everything seems to have stabilized for the time being now. I think this thing is not as simple as this government is trying to make it look. And the thing is, I realize the only person really talking about this is the Prime Minister. You recognize like the rest of the cabinet kind of silent on this. So it's mainly the Prime Minister that's speaking on this particular one. So it seems to be a heating.
He and his surroundings. Another thing I was upset about too with the proceedings. You talk about non-political. You talk about inclusiveness, right? You talk about letting Grenadians on that day be together, but yet for all, you go in Progress Park and have that event, right? For Grenadians, you want us to follow, and you have a parliamentary representative, Honorable Emily Pear. Right, and so that's part of that. She's the MP for the constituency, and yet you have somebody else who run against her and lose, making the welcoming remarks and all that sort of foolishness. You understand? Approach the MP, whether she would have done it or not, but you have to impress on her that look, it is a national thing, and we would like for you to welcome so and so. And
even if you want to welcome and then go right after, but at least make the offer.
Make the offer. Give her the respect. You understand? It's so foolish, eh? Right, and that what I tell you is that NDC started the political campaign, and then the whole question of having two events on one day, right? After 39, almost 40 years, Terence Murray Show and the Martyrs Foundation, right, had the activity commemorating the martyrs on that day. You basically hijack it, right, because they had differences with you. Because, okay, put it that way, that's your second year trying to do it. They've been doing it for 39 years or more. Right, and you want to leave them out. You want to have another activity early in the morning and ending around 12 or 1. You understand? And then you know that the Martyrs Foundation have the thing from 12. So you're telling people, okay, yes, well, we're not hamburging them they can go ahead and do their thing, but we will have our thing before theirs. Knowing full well that you would have persons that would attend in Progress Park and would have liked to attend the one down on the fort.
It's just a total disrespect to the Martyrs Foundation and all that they have been doing for the past 40 years. 40 years they've been having their activity from 1984 up to 2024. They've been having their activity. It is total disrespect to them to do what has been done there. Total disrespect.
Real marks there. They didn't try to look closer to this whole situation. They're showing their selling it. And you know what the next thing they do? I'm giving warning to former soldiers that associate that I can't tell you who to vote for, who to support, but be mindful, right, of setting up, getting all yourself set up by this government when you come to October 19th and 25th and the revolution. A lot of them pretend that they like all you, but behind all your back is what they're saying about all you. You understand? Just be mindful. And I want to all you know what I'm talking about. Can't tell all you who to support. Right? Whether it's NNP, whether it's NDC, whether it's ULP, whether it's what. But just be mindful. Do not get caught up in that ride that this government is taking all you on. Don't let them use all you as soldiers during October 19th and 25th.
Devon, when you're done talk, I go play a song for them.
I word to the wise for them and hey, to all soldiers, we friends, we comrades, we've been there, we've done that. Just a word to the wise.
Yes, indeed.
Please don't get swallowed up in another political shenanigans again where we would be the losers.
Brother Devon,
Mr. Scott.
I'm playing this song for the soldiers, man. Blessings.
One love.
Yeah, man. Yes, indeed. 440-737-734-732. Let me clear the phone line. Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. I know tonight program go get blocked online. Yes, mine who you're on to. Yeah? 440-737-734-732-93-101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. I do believe we've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Sherry, good night.
Hey, how you do, sir?
Not bad.
Yes, ma'am.
Not bad, but bad. You have to do some things for me, and up now you're not telling me anything. I just want.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what it is, so I got to call you after.
So I'll tell you tomorrow if God spare me life.
All right.
What happened? I have things to say, but I see the time going off there, and what I have to tell you, some information I have to give you, around more than 10 minutes. So I'll leave that for tomorrow and call you, and I'll tell you what I have to say.
Okay.
Because I won't have time right now.
Okay,
and
no problem.
Some things that I heard you say and other people say, and I want to make my input because I was there and I know what was going on.
Okay, no problem, my brother.
I'll call you tomorrow and tell you God's there.
All right, thank you.
Care,
all right, man. Let me say something as well. Huh? I did say when we spoke about the farmers, cause Naira, when you speak about the farmers and what the farmers had to go through last week. So the NDC administration, as usual, only about photo ops and taking pictures and so call the farmers out all over the place for the MPs and for the senators and so on to go and shake their hand Well, only the NDC MPs, so only the NDC members of parliament, as in only those people in the NDC who are win the seat or those who get licks and senators, right? Call them out to go and shake people hand and hand them checks. Set of farmers come out, no checks for them. Set of farmers who it are checks for, ain't come out. All kind of titivation and nonsense. You go and call the fishermen to come out up in Guave. You go and call them out there and come talking about $3,000. I can tell all you talk about $3,000 for the fishermen out there in Guave. And then afterwards now, after you make all the fishermen come out now believing that all fishermen go be able to benefit from that because of what they went through, come and telling them now only those who lose boat, only some going to get that money. What kind of nonsense is that? But you see, it's about the photo ops. So you let all the fishermen know, hey, we're going to give out money and things. So all the fishermen come to the meeting. All fishermen come to the meeting because yes, they need the help. They hear you have the money, you know you get the money out of CRIF. So they come to find out, well, how can I access the money and so. But you want all of them there so you could bring your GIS and take your video and bring your thing and take your picture. And then after it, you come to do what you do with the picture and so afterwards. And you ain't really care about what the fishermen going through. You ain't care what the farmers going through. We have a call online. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Good evening, Sheldon.
Evening. You have to speak up a bit for me here because your voice a little low.
Oh, well, I can't shout louder than that.
Well, not shout, but just speak a little louder into the phone. No problem.
Okay, Sheldon, I have at least 3 points to make. One, the first one is the General Hospital. Sheldon, Mr. Deacon Mitchell have to get the Minister of Health to take a proper look at what's taking place in the General Hospital. People go into the hospital. Yes, the nurses and the doctors just be tired. And first thing they're telling you, the hospital not making money to pay the workers. So why they don't privatize it, right? Secondly, I was looking at the awardees that they was giving out sometime for 50th St. David's Day thing. And I want to know if these awardees was there before, after, or only when the NDC win the power. These people get awards, right? And I would like Mr. Deacon to come out and tell me, when the past government was in power, the roads was so ridiculous and they couldn't fix it. But I'm looking at the roads from Point Selene to going up to Cali's. What's going on to these roads and them? Do we have to dig it up? Or we just have to get them people to just put a little bit of cold thing in one hole, throw a little sand on it, and pass a thing over it. Skip this hole, throw some cold mix in it, pass some sand on it, and so they're doing it like a plain hopscotch. From here, there, and everywhere. Something have to be done, and especially in the hospital. I see a lady today grinding pain. She been there from since 8:30, and she get attendance after 5. She had to be rolling on the ground, and there was a gentleman. You could see he's somebody high up in the NDC party. I'm not for NDC and NMP because the NMP are saying the same thing too. And asking him, where is the Minister of Health? What can the Minister of Health do to assist these people or give an advice to the nurses or who in charge of the hospital? The only thing the gentleman could say, oh, the hospital needs to be privatized because the people not getting enough paid. What's going on with our health? What's happening in the health system in Grenada? What else to say? A healthy nation is a?
It's a wealthy nation.
Right. But we don't wealthy because we don't healthy. If we can't get food to eat, we can't get money to spend to buy the food, we can't be wealthy. So that's what. And Sheldon, the last time I spoke to you concerning my brother, when they was building the houses in the current house on Skin, these pretty houses they have on the hill, a big stone come out from on top there, roll down. If my brother was sleeping, he would have been a dead man today. They're giving material to everybody. He's a sick man today, lying on a bed in his mother's house, sharing a room with his mother, 2 sick people, and not one person would complain to both the NDC and the NNP. Nobody come to take a look at it. The only people that came was from the news media, from GBN. Nobody come and take a look to say, okay, let me see how I could repair the house for the gentleman so he could go back and lie down in his house so somebody could take care of him. You understand? And I'm very saddened about that. It upset me every time I look at him and knowing he had his house and this big stone come down and the people that is in charge now who don't need house, get in house. Who don't need it and have this strong body that could work and build house, get in it. And who don't need it, who really need it, not getting it. That's my contribution for tonight.
All right, thank you so very much, Koala. Yes, indeed. And we nearly out of time tonight. He stabilized for the last few minutes and thing. I know he never do any come on, but the thing stabilized now and he behaving himself. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah. And I was telling you about the farmers and fishermen before I took the calls there. All that they are interested in, this government is only interested in photo ops. That's it. Photo ops. That is the only thing that they are interested in. Getting photos. So the farmers have to come up and you have to go and you have to to get pictures taken of yourself. So they're only interested in photo ops. They're not interested in what can actually be done for the farmers. They're so interested in photo ops that the Prime Minister even have his own personal photographer. Personal photographer to move around with him. You understand? So anyway, folks, that is all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. Just a reminder again, we have the bingo. Yes, we have the massive bingo that's going to be coming up on this Sunday. All right, that's going to be taking place at the Victoria Park up there in Grenville. So we have the Victoria Park in Grenville. We have the massive bingo. That's 1, 2. Before that, we have the St. George Southeast Constituency branch. They are having their zonal meeting at the Monjaloo RC School, 6:30 p.m. this Thursday, the 24th of October. All right, so looking forward to seeing you all there. Again, you know that night what it means for Talking Point. We're going to be broadcasting that. So this Thursday from 6:30 p.m., the team of the New National Party is going to be there at the Monjaloo RC School from 6:30 p.m. And also, folks, remember this weekend up there in New York. Yeah, as I say, you never know. You might see many bingo, you might see many, whichever one. You will see me in one or the other. You ain't going to see many two. All right. It's the New National Party Town Hall meeting that's going to be taking place at the Nazareth Regional High School, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203, between Clarendon Road and Ditmas Avenue. That's the new venue for Sunday's Town Hall meeting out there in New York. All right, folks. So, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. Let me just run the ad one more time for you all. And whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to you. Want to be speaking with you. Definitely. And for sure, we do not want to be speaking about you. Love each and every one of you. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'm out for tonight. Until tomorrow night. Yeah, we've got a guest with us, Mr. Dwight Hosford. Senator, the Honorable Dwight Hosford, is going to be on with us tomorrow night. So we're looking forward to that one.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Grenada. Get ready as the new National Party invites all to its 40th anniversary fundraising bingo event. Sunday, October 27th from 5 p.m. at Victoria Park, Grenville. Over $100,000 in cash and prizes to be won. Imagine you can win a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car, $50,000 in cash, plus other fantastic prizes. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. Free buses will be available island-wide. Don't miss it, or you might just see your neighbor driving arriving at Suzuki Ignis Sunday, October 27th. We're heading to Victoria Park in Grenville for the new National Party 40th Anniversary Fundraising Bingo.
Yes, we going strong and getting stronger. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years of resilience, progress and visionary leadership. Now carrying hope for a brighter future. The new National Party. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party, and we know it. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. 40 years and going strong, providing a solid foundation for the nation future. 40 years of greatness, development and progress, yeah. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. The future looking real bright, and we moving on just right. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We love it. There's no segregation. We're the best party, and we know it. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. Anniversary. Happy anniversary, NNP. Going strong and getting stronger.